So you're getting ready for your trip to Tulum, Mexico, but you're not entirely sure what there is to do there. Well, in this video, guys, I'm going to share with you 10 things to do in Tulum, Mexico, or just within a short driving distance outside of Tulum, Mexico. And so guys, before we jump in, I want to mention you'll want to stick around until the end of this video because this list of things to do is not in any specific order from best to worst, and you wouldn't want to miss out on some of these amazing things. So let's start with number 1 on the list. So as you can imagine, with Tulum being a city on the coast, you'll want to do a little bit of scuba diving if you can. There's a couple options for scuba diving. Number 1 would be scuba diving off the coast in the ocean, and then number 2, which is probably even more common, is scuba diving in some of the cenotes around Tulum. So I did a scuba diving tour over in Casa Cenote, which is just near the Tulum ruins. I'm super excited for today, guys, because it is a bucket list item for what we're about to do, and it is scuba diving. So we're at this place called Casa Cenote. Actually, it's across from the Casa Cenote, and we're going to be diving somewhere around 6 meters, roughly 18 feet, down into these, and it was a very cool experience. It was actually my first time ever scuba diving, and so I got the opportunity to scuba dive in this cenote where it was a guided tour. I went along with one of my buddies. They gave us an intro course on how to scuba dive, and the depth we went scuba diving in was not super deep, so we didn't have to have all of those special skills. That said, I do always recommend that you should get certified before you go scuba diving. So scuba diving in Casa Cenote is one of your options, but I'll also drop a link in the description below with a list of other companies that offer scuba diving excursions in Tulum. Number 2 on the list is to do what most people do when they go to Tulum, is get those ultimate Instagram photos. That's right, one of the reasons Tulum has blown up over the last 5 to 10 years is because of Instagram influencers, is because the amazing jungle vibes, almost Bali-like vibes, but here in Mexico, which offers a very unique experience and the opportunity to get some absolutely stunning photos. So here are 3 places I'm going to recommend for you guys to go ahead and check out to get that ideal photo. Number 1 on the list is going to be Raw Love. It is this absolutely beautiful wooden statue that they have where the torso is ripped open and you have these jungle plants right inside, and that gives you this super cool opening. I will say, Instagram versus reality, there is usually a line of people there, so you'll want to get there super early in the morning if you want to avoid that line. Number 2 on the list is just outside of the hostel known as Selena. It's right outside of the entrance to their restaurant, and right there you have this very cool wooden circular tunnel that brings you in, and you get a very, very cool photo here. The great thing about this place is there's not as many people fighting over getting the spot to take a photo, so usually you can walk right up and get a cool photo there that really gives the Tulum vibes. And number 3 on the list, probably the most expensive one on the list and the most expensive restaurant up there, maybe top 5, is going to Azulik. But that said, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to go to Azulik. There is a really cool rooftop you can go do, which is basically you pay $50 to get in, you get 1 drink, and you can hang out up on their roof terrace, which is connected by rope bridges. Unfortunately, I don't have too much footage for you, only some photos to show you here, but it's a great spot to get some really beautiful photos inside Azulik. Number 3 on the list, this is a Tulum classic. You're going to want to either rent or buy a bike depending on how long you're going to be staying in Tulum. As you can imagine, and as you've probably seen, it's very common to see people cruising around on the beach style cruisers that you'll see in vacation hotspots like Bora Bora, Maldives, and of course Tulum. It's a really common way for people to get around, a really easy stroll, and it's a very bikeable city with a lot of protected lanes specifically for bikers. That said, there are some main roads where you have to ride on the road, so be really careful when you are cruising, but riding bikes around Tulum was one of my highlights. I was there for about 31 days, and probably every single day I was in Tulum, I probably put on between 5 and 10 miles. You don't even feel it though, because you're in perfect weather. You got your little portable speaker on the bike, and you're just cruising around, vibing out. Going into number 4 on the list, this is probably where I spent the majority of my time outside of my accommodation, which was at Playa Paricio. Playa Paricio is a long stretch of beach and coastline in Tulum, a very stunning beach to hang out early in the morning for sunrise. It's great to hang out in the middle of the day. There's some beach clubs in Playa Paricio. There is just a great spot to hang out and lay out. There's always something going on, and the water is ultra blue, super beautiful, exactly what you came for. except when the seaweed's there. Also, even though Tulum sits on the east coast of Mexico, going down to the Playa Paraiso beach during sunset is amazing because you get to see way out in the distance in the ocean a stunning reflection of the sun. But in the evenings, you can see really cool sunsets sometimes. Both times that I've been to Mexico in the last 2 years, there's always been these super beautiful sunsets where the sun is shining directly through the clouds, and it is amazing. There's a lot going on, and in the evenings there's a lot of different bars and places that are having drink specials to come down, party, or just to hang out and catch an evening swim. It's one of my favorite times to swim in the ocean is right at sunset, right after the sun's actually setting, because the colors, as you can see behind me, are just next level. I want to mention Playa Paraiso. You can pick up boat cruises there, do a little snorkeling tour. They have some options like that near some of the hotels, but definitely make sure you spend some time, catch some rays there, because it is a great beach to hang out at. And number 5 on the list is to go and visit some of the famous cenotes. Now, in this video, I'm not going to share with you exactly which cenotes to visit. I've actually created a separate video that covers the 10 cenotes that I visited during the 31 days that I was staying in Tulum, and in there I compare and contrast basically all of the different cenotes I went to and what my experience was like. But what I can tell you is visiting the cenotes are an amazing experience. They're basically a sinkhole in the ground, and if you go on a sunny day, you can have these stunning light beams going right down into the water, which will not only be an amazing experience to snorkel, but you can get those beautiful photos and videos that you can cherish forever. So definitely make sure you make it over to some cenotes. There's some both in Tulum, and there's some within a short driving distance as well. Very beautiful options. And so definitely check out my other video to find out more details on which ones you should go to. All right, number 6 on the list. This one is going to be a bit of a road trip if you have the time for it. We just made it down to Punta Allen after a solid 2-hour rough terrain drive. We were told by our hostel host that this is one of the most beautiful places that's not too far from Tulum, but a little less known. I will say, if you're driving and you can spend a few extra dollars, get an SUV or a truck. There are so many potholes on the way down. If I was someone that got car sick, I would have been throwing up the whole way. So the good thing is we just made it down here and the water looks beautiful. As soon as you arrive, there's a lot of people that'll offer you tours. There's an initial one right when you arrive that's going to charge you a more premium price. And if you keep driving a little bit further past them, there is a beach you can stop off here, and there's some more local guys here that are offering tours for a little bit cheaper. So there's 3 of us going on basically a private boat tour to a few different spots that we're going to show you guys for about 1,500 pesos. So let's do it. We're going full speed ahead to our first stop. I'm already loving this place because there's almost nobody around. There's maybe 2 or 3 boats total. It is Corona season, so there's less people in general, but this is one of the great parts about being down here is you're going to have it all to yourself. Today's boat, we have a crew of 4, me, we have, ¿cómo se llama? Felipe. Felipe, mi amigo Felipe, our El Capitan. We have Amelia. It looks like we're going overboard. And then we have Maria del Carmen up there catching dolphins, catching that footy. Look at, oh, there it is. Don't miss that footy. Don't miss that footy.
No. Come on! No. You next time.
Oh, I'm standing up on the ground.
We were trying to find this amazing beach, and these chicas right here were like, let's take this little Nissan, this little dinghy that we have here, this thing that can barely drive on cement. Let's take this thing in an area that not even a 4x4 Jeep can normally get through. And oh my God, that was one of the scariest drives of my life in terms of getting stuck. We have no cell phone signal. If we were to get stuck, they would have to push because I'm the only one that knows how to drive stick shift. So yeah, well, we're gonna try and enjoy this beach that we just had a crazy adventure to arrive at. All right, and number 7 on the list, another short road trip from Tulum, but this time not as rugged and also not as long. Going over to the Coba Ruins is about a 40-minute drive from Tulum's El Centro, so not too far to get there. You can easily grab a rental car if you don't have a rental car already when you're staying in Tulum. There's a bunch of different spots. You can pick them up for around $30 to $40 per day of renting plus gas, and so not too expensive if you're going with a group of people. The Coba Ruins is pretty iconic. Obviously, it's a very well-known spot, so you will get more tourism there. That's the only part I didn't like. Some of the amazing ruins there were beautiful, but then they would have a lot of people rushing to get the best photo, which I get it, but at the same time, it is sometimes nice to be exploring places with not too many people surrounding you. That said, it's a cool spot to walk around. You have options to take a bike around because it's such a massive compound, if you will, of all of these different ruins that stretch out. You can spend hours just walking around this place, or you can rent bikes, or you can have bike taxis take you around. The nice part is you have a few different options to get around. Going into number 8 on this list, if you're visiting Tulum, you need to check this place out. Roughly 2.5 hours or so driving distance, you get to Chichen Itza, one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. So this is something you'll absolutely want to add on your list. Another set of ruins. I personally like these ruins better than Coba ruins, so if you're deciding between the two, driving the extra distance to Chichen Itza, in my opinion, is better. There is a lot of really cool things to see there. The history is fascinating, and you'll be very impressed with these massive structures that were built so long ago, long before we had today's modern technology. So you will be in awe. And one thing you'll also find very interesting is if you clap in front of it, it actually echoes. So Clark, give us a demonstration on. So it's crazy the architecture and understanding they had to create structures like that, plus with that level of detail where you can clap in front, make noise, and it echoes like that. So very cool. Definitely check out Chichen Itza. Going into number 9 on this list, we're back in Tulum. We're back hanging out in Tulum early in the morning. And the next thing we want to add on the list on things to do here is wake up at the crack of dawn, no matter how tired you are, because I was super tired when I first got up this morning, but it is always worth it when you get down here for the sunrise. So it's about a 20-25 minute bike ride from downtown Tulum to get right down here to the coastline. If you're staying down here in the hotel district, that's even better. You could probably catch a sunrise right at your hotel. But for me, I'm staying downtown because it's much cheaper to in an Airbnb. So took my little beach cruiser that I picked up and then came down here catching the sunrise. Not too many people here either. So it's really a great time to come and cruise down. By the way, if you are biking down, most of the way from downtown Tulum to the beach has a bike path. It's pretty much only the last 5 minutes or so where you're on the streets, so just be very careful there because there's a lot of huge trucks and things that are driving by and it can be a little bit sketchy. This early in the morning though, there's not too much traffic, at least today on a Sunday morning. So this spot right here, if the tide's not too high, will lead you out to basically this peninsula area, which is a stunning spot to watch the sunrise. I went there a few different mornings because it is such a peaceful way to start out the day. You have the sun right on the horizon coming up while you can see the beginnings of light touching Tulum and all of the stunning structures along the coastline. It is a great way to start your day. And this wouldn't be a great things to do list unless we talked about number 10, which is visiting taco spots. So you will definitely want to make some time to visit some amazing taco spots in Tulum. There are so many great food options. One thing I want to mention to you though is if you're eating in El Centro, you're going to get much lower prices than if you're eating down by the beach. When you're eating down by the beach, this is the hotel zone. This is going to be the area where you're paying much higher prices. Just to put it in perspective for you, we went to a place called Rosa Negra 3 nights during the 31 days we were in Tulum because we loved the place, but a plate of tacos there was around $27, whereas my favorite taco place cost me about $2 in El Centro. So there's a big discrepancy in food prices when you're going out to eat. So I want to mention that, but that said, my 3 recommendations for you to visit when you're in Tulum are Taqueria Onerio. This is my number 1 favorite place for tacos in Tulum. It's super cheap. The tacos cost about 18 pesos, so you're talking not even a full dollar, depending on the exchange rate, to get amazing tacos. Pick up 3 tacos of the Conchinita Pibil. You will be mind blown. Number 2 on the list is Antojitos La Chiapaneca. This place was one of the first taco spots that I ever ate at in Tulum, Mexico. The first time I went to Tulum about 1 year ago, it was recommended as one of the best places and cheapest places to get tacos, coming in around 10 pesos per taco. Number 3 on the list is going to be a place called El Pescador. This place is a bit more upbeat, more of a nicer vibe when you go there, but not too expensive, and it's also in El Centro. All right, guys, and that wraps up my 10 things to do in Tulum, Mexico. As you can imagine, there are so many more things to do in this amazing Mexican city. This place has so much to do that'll keep you busy. Even after 31 days, I still feel like I didn't see everything and do everything you can do in Tulum, but I am confident that the recommendations I'm giving you, you're going to love if you have the time to do some or all of them. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you've liked this video, it helps so much if you can give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. I have a bunch of other videos from Tulum that'll cover things like cost of living in Tulum, 10 cenotes to visit in Tulum, and a full Tulum travel guide to help you with budgeting, strategies on how to get to and from the airport, and a whole bunch of other helpful information information that's going to ensure you have an amazing time in Tulum, Mexico. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.